Hey guys, I know it's been a while, a lot has changed. Well, I got a haircut, that's the most obvious one. I moved and I put up these nice little Christmas and LED pink lights, to make my videos maybe look more entertaining and better, I guess. I don't know. Before I get started, I apologize for not making videos for the past couple months, like, with Zelda Breath of the Wild. That is still coming out. I just honestly have not been more motivated to do that yet, and since we're moving, it's going to be harder to do that since not everything is unpacked, set up, and all that, and I've just been really busy and going through it, these past few months, so videos still probably won't be consistent, but I wanted to make this video because I get tagged by my friend who did this, and also, I just want to do it anyway. So, without further ado, here is the favorite character tag. Spoiler alert, I'm going to try not to make all of these Fruits Basket characters, but that will probably end up with what will happen, so I'm sorry. I also just love any excuse to gush over my favorite characters, so I was like, this tag is perfect for me to participate in. Number 1 is a character you love fiercely. Now, I could say a lot of characters for this because I do, in fact, love a lot of characters, but I'm gonna have to go with my number 1 favorite character of any media ever, Kiyosoma. I love him. He's helped me through a lot of things, which probably sounds weird because he's fictional, not real. But I don't know, just the whole series, Fruits Basket as a whole, has just been something that keeps me happy consistently when I feel like I don't have anything to be happy about anymore. And just Kyo's characters is like, it's just, I love him so much. There's so many reasons I could go on about why I love him, but that will just take up this entire video and I will not get into it, but basically, he's really flawed, and he's a really well-written character, and yes, there are some flaws about him, but that is exactly why I love him, and he's so perfect to me. So anyways, I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, number 1 I'll have to go with Kiyosama. Number 2 is a character that's heavily flawed but you cannot help but love. Now, again, I don't want to do all Fruits Basket characters, but for this one, I just have to go with Akito-sama. Yes, Akito is very abusive, and yes, I hated Akito at first. I always get mad whenever Akito would be on screen, but after reading the manga and learning about the backstory and the thing with Ren and everything, I couldn't help but feel so bad for Akito. And I don't condone any of the actions caused by that, but because that's never okay, no matter, it doesn't excuse the abuse or anything, but like, I just put myself in Akito's shoes and I'm like, would I do anything differently? I mean, maybe I wouldn't traumatize a whole family, but I'm like, I always went back to, I'm like, you know what, I really understand why Akito acts the way Akito does, so honestly, I understand, and like, I just think Akito is a very complex, well-written character, in my opinion. Yes, I do think the redemption arc should have been a little better than it was, but I just love Akito. I just love Akito so much, and even some of the stuff that has happened to Akito, I personally relate to a lot, so I just felt like, I just love characters like that, where like, you hate them at first, but then towards the end, you can decide whether or not you want to like them or not. And for some reason, these characters I always just end up loving. Characters with tragic backstories who just end up being villains, but either get redeemed later on or just get completely unhinged and don't get better. Honestly, I just love characters like that, so definitely choosing Akito for this question. Number 3, this question is a character that makes you laugh out loud. This one is very hard because a lot of characters and a lot of things, whether it's anime, regular TV shows, movies, anything, or even video games, make me laugh out loud a lot. For some reason, the 2 that stay in my head, because I thought about this question a lot before I started filming. I couldn't think of anything besides these 2. If I ever think of any when I'm editing, I'll obviously put it in, like, captions, but people I can think about right now are another Fruits Basket character, Kakeru, and Tamaki Suo from Ouran High School Blues Club. Ouran just in general is so fucking funny to me, and like I always come back to it after a couple of years for like comfort. I just love Tamaki so much because of his humor and just his personality in general. And Kakeru is just, he's so fucking funny. I have like a lot of friends who are just like Kakeru, and like seeing him on screen is just so fucking funny. And even reading it in the manga, I'm like, oh my god, how come he's not in the 2001 anime? And it's great. There's definitely more characters that have made me laugh out loud. I just genuinely can't think of any right now. So for this question, I'll have to go with those 2. Number 4 is a child character that you like. Again, I could say so many for this. I could say like Mabel from Gravity Falls, the Powerpuff Girls, but because actually, Paprika girls mean a lot to me, so I could say that. But I guess for this, the main person that comes into my mind is Kisa Soma from Fruits Basket, because, again, Kisa is another character that I really related to, like, a lot, with the bullying and all that, and how she, like, went silent for a while because she didn't want to get laughed at or made fun of. And it's just, like, even as a child, she can go through so much trauma, and it's so sad, but it's so real, because it's realistic, because that does happen to people. And, like, yes, I could say I relate to, Mabel, too, and I could say I relate to Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup all in a way, but Kisa just, she means the most to me because of how realistic, the situation she went through was and everything, and I just think she's so fucking cute, and she's like a little tiger baby, and I just love her. I want to give her a hug. I'm literally to her right now. I just want to hug her so much. 5 is an animal character that you like. Now, as ironic as this is, it's not going to be a Fruits Basket character this time, because all the humans are basically animals, so that technically won't count in my opinion. So I'm going to go with Oliver from Oliver and Company. I love this movie. I have literally grown up with this movie. I feel like I watch it every year. It's my favorite, like, Disney movie besides, like, Tangled and all that, but it literally means so much to me. I want to get an orange cat and name one Oliver and Kiao now. But I don't even know why. I just love cats, and I love Oliver because, whenever I'd watch it, it would always make me think of me and my cat. Even though the cat I had back then wasn't really my cat, so it definitely makes me think of the cat I have now, because of how close we are. Our bond is just, like, so good, and whenever I watch it, I'm always like, oh my god, that's me and Serafina and all that, and the movie just means so much to me because I am a huge cat lover. I always have been, and the movie just always makes my heart warm, and Oliver is just so cute. So, honestly, I'm gonna go with Oliver. Number 6 is a strong woman character that you like. Now, I have so many for this one, but the first one that came into my head is Edelgard from Fire Emblem Three Houses. I fucking love Edelgard. I don't care what anybody says. She is the best. She has been through so much because of her having 2 crests, and, like, she's been through so much torment and torture and everything, and a lot of people are like, she's a bitch, blah, blah, blah. You know what? They're all war criminals, Karen. Like, they all kill people. Just shut up. She's been through a lot of pain, and all she wants to do is make a better world where people won't have to get tormented by their crests, and honestly, I fucking love her for that. She tore down everything she had to just to get what she wanted, just to get a better world that she thought would be beneficial for everybody with 2 crests like her. Like, for example, another character who has 2 crests in that game, Lysithea. So honestly, I really fucking admire that about her. She will do anything to get what she wants, and, like, that's the determination I strive to be like. So honestly, Edelgard, I love you. Number 7 is a brave character that you admire. Now, I have a lot of characters that, like, fit, like, a lot of these questions or categories, but for this one, I'm gonna go with Link from The Legend of Zelda, because in every game is so fucking different, and that's why I just love the series so much. But in every game, obviously, Link, we all know, is, represents the Triforce of courage. Obviously, you have to be brave to have courage, so, like, that's just a given. But he is so, obviously, courageous, and he will do anything to save whoever he needs. I saw a post, for example, like in Skyward Sword, he said, I'm doing it for the girl I love. And then for Ocarina of Time, he's like, I'm doing it because a tree told me to. But, like, you know, it's like in different reasons, he just does something for someone. And he doesn't care if it puts his own life at risk because he does it for people he cares about. Even though he's not very vocal or, like, he hasn't so many expressions, especially in Breath of the Wild, but he just does it anyway, because yes, it's his duty and it's his destiny and he has to, but also, if he really wanted to, he just didn't want to do it. Like, he really didn't have to, and, like, he just does it anyway. Even in fucking Wind Waker, he's an actual child. Wind Waker and Majora's Mask, he is a child, but he's doing it for the people he cares about. Like, he's doing it to save his sister in Wind Waker, and in Majora's Mask, he's doing it to, help out his, the Skull Kid, even though he doesn't even really know the Skull Kid, but then at the end he was like, oh yeah, I'll be your friend. Like, he is just a very kind person with so much bravery. Imagine being like 7 and saving the world. I wouldn't be able to do that. So, like, I don't know, I'm not really getting, like, the words I'm trying to say out about how much I admire Link for being brave, but basically, I love, like, this question is a character that scares the hell out of you. Now, I can't really think of, like, a character that genuinely made me feel, like, fearful, but some of my favorite characters, actually, if they were real people, they would scare the shit out of me. Like, for example, most of the villains in Gotham, Akito, Rika from Mystic Messenger, Adam from Ruby, like, I love these characters dearly, but just, like, if I ever met, like, an actual person like them, and they didn't get redeemed, and they were just, like, didn't have any, like, human emotions, or, like, any redeeming qualities at all, I know Adam didn't really get redeemed, but, like, I can go on by why I like him, but I'm not gonna get into it. Anyway, if they were, like, actual people like this, I would probably legitimately be fucking terrified of them. Like, in Fruits Basket, when Suzu said she was scared of Akito, I, too, in that moment, would be fucking terrified of Akito. And for Rika's case, like, she literally started a fucking cult. Like, yeah, I would be scared of her. Yes, I love her. I would still be scared of her. And Adam, if I was in Blake's situation, obviously I'd be fucking scared shitless of him, too. And obviously, if I were, like, any bystander in Gotham, I would be terrified of, like, Oswald, Edward, and everything. But, like, these are also the characters I love. So I can't really say I have, like, a character that I'm scared of, per se, but if these are real people, yeah, I'd be terrified. This question is a really mean character. Now, for a little backstory. Mean characters for me could go either way. If this character is a bitch, I could either absolutely love them or absolutely hate them. And usually, it depends on if they have, like, morals or not, or, like, actual, like, reasonings, or, like, deep personal trauma that they, go through, which makes them mean. For example, Ami Kawashima from Toradora. She's a bitch at first, but, like, I loved her from the start, and I knew, like, something about her is the reason why I love her. And yeah, she has deep-rooted, like, trauma, which isn't, like, I guess you have to, like, really, like, analyze her to really understand it, because it's not as, like, obvious as some other characters might be, but I love her for it. A bitch character that I can't fucking stand would be Lila and Chloe from Miraculous Ladybug. Now listen, I know Chloe has trauma, like, with her mom and everything, but she never really got redeemed, and she doesn't learn from it, and she's still a fucking massive bitch. So I hate her. I really do hate her. And same with Lila. We don't even know anything about her. She just lies for what? Her own personal gain. She's a bitch, and I hate her too. Another really mean character that comes to my mind is Hirosoma from Fruits Basket. Could not stand him for, like, I fucking hated him. Fuck them kids. He's grown on me a little bit more now because, he gets better throughout, like, the series. But still, at the very beginning, I wanted to fucking drop kick him. So he's a gray area. He's in the middle for me. I hate him, but I also like him. So I guess, I don't know. I have multiple characters for this answer, so take that how you will. Number 10 is a character that you really hate, and oh boy, do I have 2 answers for this. Now, I have a lot of answers for this, to be fair, because I do hate a lot of characters, but I'm going to go with the 2 most hated characters for me. Honestly, one of them I don't even hate that much anymore, but at the time I was so pissed, so I'm just gonna add her in here for a little bit of drama, because I live for the drama. Kimmy Kinney. Anyways, I'm gonna go with her first, since she is the person I hate the least out of these 2 characters. Isabella from Gotham. Solely because her purpose was to be a loophole in a plot line that didn't fucking matter. Like, not a loophole, but, like, a hole that was never used or explained ever again. Except to bring apart the relationship between Oswald Cobblepot and Edward Nygma. Now, I am a romantic Nygma shipper, so of course I would get mad about this. But also, just in general, if you aren't, and you look at it, what the fuck was her purpose? Literally, her only purpose was to make them hate each other. For what? For what? Now, I don't know if it's because the writers of Gotham just didn't want Nick Malmapot to be, like, semi-canon, but, like, the whole show isn't canon anyway, so that's not a problem, but it's, like, I understand if you didn't want to make it canon, but you didn't have to just bring in somebody that was completely useless to the fucking story for no reason. Like, it makes the show look like it was queer-baited a little bit. That's all I'm saying. And yes, I was mad about that, but in actuality, I wouldn't have been mad if they didn't become canon if it was done better. Like, they could have been, like, oh, off doing their own thing. But, like, they really had to bring in a whole fucking clone bitch that had nothing to do with the show. Anyway, I could go on. You get it. I hate her. Now, the number one character I hate the most, it really makes my blood boil, is Kyosoma's sperm donor. I refuse to say anything else, because that's what he is. Sperm donor. I want to punch him in the fucking face so badly. You don't even know. He literally calls his own son a monster. And he calls him a thing. Somebody who should be locked up for the rest of his life. Someone who doesn't deserve good things. And you can see why I want to punch him in the face. He is the reason Kyo's mother killed herself. And then he blamed it on his fucking 5-year-old son. Who does that? Like, he's the reason Kyo acts the way he does, because he's traumatized due to his... Anyways, so, those are my 2 answers for this one. I hate them. I hope they burn and choke. One of them already did burn and choke. The other one, I will take care of myself. And that is it. That is all for the favorite character tag. I will be tagging literally anybody who wants to do this. I don't have YouTube friends, so I don't care. So if you want to do this, go ahead and do it. I would love to see it. Let me know if you guys do it. Comment down below. Honestly, if you want to answer these questions in the comment sections, I would love that. So comment down below your answers if you don't want to make a video. Yeah, I will see you guys when I see you. I hope to have another video idea soon. I have a pea brain, so it's not very often where I actually am like, hey, I want to make a video, because there's nothing to film. Anyways, yeah, so hopefully I will be back with more Breath of the Wild videos, or just videos in general soon. See you guys soon. Bye!